Hi, everyone. My name is Emma,
And I'm Tiana.
and we are the Open Book Club podcast. It's been a long time coming. It's first time either of us have ever done anything like
Oh my
this.
gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
The nerves are real. They're
Yeah.
here.
Before we get into our topic of the day, which is things that we kind of wish we knew at 20, 21, around that area of
Early adulthood in
early
general.
adulthood.
Yeah.
It is pretty focused on women, if I'm being so honest. Before we get into that, let's talk about how we decided to start this.
Yeah, so, I feel like once you start approaching your late 20s, very spooky to say, you get these moments where you're like, what am I doing? What brings me joy? What do I want to do in life? Which we're going to touch on a lot on this episode. So, I feel like the I don't know exactly how it started, but I remember I was on a walk after I was listening to a podcast. We had recently reconnected after like what?
8 years.
8 years.
Yeah, the lore in that will come later.
Crazy.
I think we had reconnected at the right time too.
100%.
When we were both like kind of looking for a personal project to pursue.
Absolutely.
And you definitely broached the idea initially, and I was so scared, but I was like, I need something to live for.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so I guess that kind of brings us here.
Yeah. I think a big thing for me, moving across the country, one of the huge things that comes with that is feeling like a lack of connection with other people. And again, we'll talk about friendships and how they evolve and everything in this episode as well. But it's really tricky to feel like you're connecting with others. You go to your workplace, you might have work friends and things like that, but it's different. And I find when we first connected, one of the things that I took from that was we yapped for a really long time. And I felt warm and fuzzy after that. And I was like, this brings me joy. And what can I do to feel this feeling, every day? Like, what can I venture into to feel this way? And just yap on a podcast.
Yeah.
And then hopefully you guys get something from that. And yeah. Right.
And I think you guys will. Otherwise,
crossed.
we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
But especially that, and I think perfect person to do it with, because I feel like you never know, guys. Like adult friendships can, again, we'll get into this.
Yes.
And we both have our own shared experiences or and individual experiences of, wow, that person like is really different from what I was expecting.
Yeah.
So it's nice to reconnect with someone who you knew as a young person, and you see them doing well as an adult, and you're like, okay, yeah, like glad you didn't go insane.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
So with all that, let's get going into how many items are on our list.
We have 12.
So I thought 12 things that I really wish someone would have explained to me, and I would have received it well.
Yes.
As a 20-year-old.
Yeah. The other thing too is as we were going over these things, I realized it is us talking to ourselves, our younger versions of ourselves. But also we're still learning about these things, and we're giving this advice to our present day selves as well, because a lot of it you have to come back and remind yourself of. Because the 20s are chaotic, and soon I fear I'm going to be entering my 30s, which I don't really want to think about, but we're going to have to remind ourselves of these things here and there. So, should we just jump right in or
jump
what?
into it? Let's hit number 1.
Okay, number 1. We said, we wish that we knew how to choose a partner. So, lots can come from this.
Lots. I guess I'll shove off with it. We are both in relationships. When we were 20, I went into university and I got into a relationship pretty much immediately. Yeah, and I think as a young person, at least for me, and power to all the young people out there who aren't like this and have a strong sense of self, was that I didn't have a strong sense of self.
Yes.
So when I was picking a partner, it wasn't necessarily someone who complimented me. It was someone who liked me.
Yeah.
So
he called me pretty.
And yeah, I think for a lot of people who move away from home when they're young, to go to school, to live in a different city, you're kind of on your own for the first time, and you're not as monitored, and the attention that you get is like it's the first attention that you get. That's you kind of take that just for yourself. And boy, was I just so excited that someone liked me. And luckily enough, the person I was with was a good person, but how many people are just liking people who like them, you know?
Mhm.
There needs to be more parameters for
Yeah.
why you decide to be with someone.
Yeah. Especially, you know, in your early 20s, I think what a big thing that you're looking for is that spark, that chemistry. And when you're in your early 20s, you might still be in school. You don't have an idea of like a concrete idea of the future. I still don't, but you're not really thinking about things like, do our values align? Do we want the same things out of life? How is this going to look, 5, 10 years down the road? Or is it just feeling good in the moment? Can you
Yeah.
have those hard conversations? So I think for me personally, when I was younger, um, what I was looking for was just that initial spark, and then whatever came after that, I was like, if we didn't align or if we were butting heads on certain things, I'd put those rose-colored glasses on, and I'm like, you know what, this is fine. It'll work out.
We'll deal with it as
We'll
it
deal with it
comes.
later. Don't worry, I can change him.
Oh my god.
Right?
Not that don't worry, I can change him. But
Love a personal
exactly.
project.
Honestly, even me as like my mid 20s was something that only just dawned on me. I felt my brain fully developed and I was like, "Oh, we never had any like initial conversations of like
Yeah.
cuz you're almost uncomfortable to it's almost uncomfortable to do that with someone, when you're a kid or a young adult.
Mm.
How many times will Emma call 20-year-olds kids? um, when you're a young adult and you're just getting comfortable with yourself as an
Hmm.
adult
Yeah.
and as like the future concept of life, everything's hard. You don't want to have those hard conversations.
Yeah.
Um, and how many times are you picking the right partner that wants to also have those conversations? And
Right.
so if you're in a relationship and your partner's wanting to have hard conversations with you, now, depending on the content of the conversation, it's a good sign. I think that's a mature person. I think that that's the right
Hmm.
way to approach it. I mean, I definitely feel like I could have come off as a crazy girlfriend with that because the way I deliver information is sometimes out of pocket. um, but important to look beyond chemistry, look at
Right.
core values, look at I don't know, like where you are in life and
Yeah.
are you comfortable with staying with this person? Like what are you looking for at the beginning of that
Right.
relationship and defining that
Yeah.
out loud with the person.
Yeah. I agree.
um and there might be some people that say that takes the sexy out of a young relationship. It won't.
It won't with the right person. I feel like,
Yeah.
and the thing is, if you try and have this conversation with the wrong person, it might come across awkward. It might be like, ooh, but that tells you something, right? Like the other thing about choosing a partner is you want to feel safe with them and you want to feel safe to express your opinions, to be able to talk to them because communication is everything. It always comes down to communication or lack thereof. Um, and I think if you can't have those hard conversations in the beginning, then it's just not meant to be,
I mean, you won't have
right?
a leg to stand on
Right.
later. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's true too. How that person reacts to a hard conversation says a lot about them.
Sorry, one thing I also wanted to mention is,
Okay.
we both moved across the country and trying to find a partner after that. It's very easy to choose someone out of loneliness and feeling like, everyone has a partner, so should I. You have to be very careful not to do that because again, that will lead to rose-colored glasses. You kind of have to be able to stand on your own
Yeah.
before.
I actually moved here after my partner moved back here.
Right.
So it was an interesting experience. Um, and this may be a split opinion. I did long distance for quite some time and like 3.5 hour time zone long distance.
Yeah.
Uh, it was intense. Um, but I I kind of loved it. I had that independence of standing on my
Hmm.
own where I
Hmm.
lived. I worked, I was in school, I did my day to day, but and my partner was able to work and build what he
Right.
wanted out here.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, without communication and like honest and very open communication, it would have disintegrated.
Yeah.
But for all of those reasons, I think that has just benefited my relationship personally. But
Yeah. I
I
mean, it
mean,
doesn't always work out that way, but
no, yeah, and
cheers to that.
I mean, it definitely was not easy long distance. It's for you really have to want to be with your partner. Um, so do I recommend that all 20-year-olds do long distance relationships when they're in school? Maybe not.
Maybe not. It's not for everybody, but you know what? If it
Yeah.
goes with your flow, then
I mean, if
you're
you feel like you
20.
have a partner and not a
Yeah.
boyfriend, I
Yeah.
recommend it.
You're also
We're grown
20.
up.
Like you have so much time. Like if you try something out and it doesn't work, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
there's so many fish in the sea and you will find somebody else. So, with that being said, our second point is that your friendships will change and that
Yes.
is okay. And you just have to let it happen. If you fight it, it's going to get messy, as we all know.
And a little current pop culture moment. If anyone's seen, have you seen the mom group with Ashley Tisdale and Hilary Duff?
No.
Oh my God. Okay, well, we'll talk about this later.
Okay.
Um, even into your adulthood, like your friendships will constantly evolve.
Mhm.
And sometimes it evolves into we're not talking anymore,
Yeah.
and then sometimes it evolves into like I don't know, one's a mother, one's single.
Right.
You kind of have to meet each other where you're at and
Absolutely.
understand that if you fight it and you get, you're not hanging out with me. I actually have a toddler.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I
I know. I see, and that's the thing. As you get older and you have different responsibilities, being an adult, it's so hard to maintain friendships. Like you really have to work at it. And that's the thing. When you're younger, when you're in university together, you might be able to hang out for like 4 or 5 hours a day, shoot the shit, whatever you're doing. But as an adult, you have different things going on, and you can't expect your friends to be there at the snap of your fingers anymore,
yeah.
right?
And yeah, that expectation of how you show up
Yeah,
and what is the friendship?
yeah,
I it's almost it makes me feel like a bad friend to say all this out loud, but you kind of have to compartmentalize.
yeah,
I have friends that I kind of see when I go out, when I'm
yeah,
going clubbing,
hmm,
and then I have work friends, and then I have, you'll always have like your inner circle core friends, and
yeah,
those may evolve, and it may be like this person can hang out with me more, and it's more compatible.
hmm,
Um, what I like, if you're feeling any resentment for a friend, I do think you need to reevaluate where that person is in your life and how they
hmm,
need to be in it. And that can be a tough conversation. I mean, I'm sure I've had plenty of falling outs with
yeah,
friends. Well, not plenty. I mean, I can count on one
yeah.
hand.
A few core
Yeah,
falling
and
outs. Yeah,
in those falling outs, you're able to see where you went wrong and where they went
right.
wrong. And I've had some like falling outs and then circle back.
Yeah,
We're good again
right.
because we grew up. It
Yeah.
was, you know, I think it was 22, 23 for me, where some of my older friends are working.
Hmm.
I'm not seeing them. I'm finishing up university. I'm really busy. Um, there was a lot of letting things slide
Hmm.
because it just no one had the time.
Yeah.
But like you have to be careful of who's in your group and how they view growing apart. Because for some
Right.
people, that's I'll crash out right now. Like
Yeah.
you're not my friend anymore.
Yeah.
Those are scary. Those conversations, those confrontations
Yeah.
of I guess we're not friends anymore.
Yeah.
They sometimes they're worse than a breakup.
They are truly. Like my best friend, I've been friends with her for like 16 or 17 years now. I hold her very close to my heart, and there are times where we go like 3 or 4 months without talking to each other. And I'm like, oh shit, let's FaceTime. And we FaceTime for like 4 hours and we just catch up and it feels good leaving that conversation. And there's never the expectation of, you know, you haven't reached out to me this week or like what's going on, do
Yeah,
I still fit in your life? Like we know it's a knowing, right?
yeah, it's an underlying deep love.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I have the same situation. I've had a best friend since I was 3 years old, and
Hmm.
we've been best friends in every season of life.
Hmm.
You get to a point where you have such a long-term friend, those friendships that survive like
Everything.
kindergarten to adulthood
Yeah.
really become like a family to you.
Yeah.
And I mean, when I was like my best friend, we used to fight like sisters,
Hmm.
like physically fight.
Yeah.
I think one time
Yeah.
I had a weight thrown at me.
Oh.
It was by her brother actually. So I was with the whole fam like that. But
Right.
those friendships, 3.5 hour time zone change or 3 hour, it doesn't phase you.
Yeah.
I'll FaceTime you 3, 4 times a week, um, for a couple weeks at a time. Then you might not hear from me for I don't know 2 months, but it's all
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
That's oh my gosh, you'll hear me say it's all love so many times because as an adult, sometimes things are just love. It's like
Yeah.
love you from a distance.
Yeah.
Mm.
Exactly. I also think, um, you know, when you're an adult, especially if you move to a new city, it's so hard to make friends. Like I said, you might have work friends, but it's really weird transitioning from work friends to real life friends. And sometimes it just doesn't work that way and it's okay. So there are going to be times where you have to really put yourself out there. And what I've learned through living, I've been in Calgary for what, like 3 years? No, going on 3 years, which is crazy.
God, really?
Yeah, I think so. I'm going on my third year, so like two and a half.
2023 or 2020? Because me too. This is so funny. We lived here for
Like,
like a year and a half, and we're like, oh, we should hang
well,
out.
yeah, this is the thing. Like, we're both busy, and like, I really value this friendship, and it's not something that I would have liked to drift away from. Like, we were really close in high school.
Yeah.
But man, life happens, and you come back together, and you can't. I'm not like, why?
No, it's
Why?
what have you been up to for 8 years?
Yeah,
Then?
yeah, exactly.
It's not like why haven't you
Yeah,
spoke to me? It's tell me
yeah.
about it. Yeah.
But anyways, in terms of making friends in new cities and everything, I think especially for girls, there's this anxiety that trying to make friends, they're not going to feel the same way, or like a lot of people from the East Coast move to Alberta. So I've actually reconnected with a few people from our hometown. And a couple days ago, actually, I ran into someone. And I can't say that we were.
Wait, can you say their name and we'll bleep it?
Wow.
Stop. Oh, you know what? She's been here a while.
She has. It's the same thing with you. Like I knew that she was here, but the thing is, like we had mutual best friends, but we were never friends
Oh, that's a funny
outside of
one.
that.
Yeah.
So it's like weird to approach that. So I was thinking this whole time that I lived here, like, should I reach out to her? Like, is she gonna want to be my friend?
Well, it's different too.
You
You
know?
take like a high school dynamic as an adult. Like I've
Oh
always
yeah,
found
yeah,
that
yeah.
really, really hard. Like, and a lot of people don't. I find like, at least in the hometown,
Hmm.
they leave high school and they're able to leave in the past. At least most of the time.
Right.
Some place where I struggle is I'm like, oh my god, those two people are together.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
That is a weird thing in itself, for
yeah.
sure.
I think
Yeah.
that's some room for personal growth there.
But I do think that a lot of us, I don't think many girls in their 20s can say that they don't want any more friends. Like everyone is searching to grow their group of friends because like we said, we have certain friends that are good for going out and having a good time, like clubbing, that kind of thing. You have your farmers market friends. Like there's so much room for more in your life.
Yeah.
And so I think approaching new friendships like
And
that way.
honestly, my favorite thing about like adult friendships, they're not like they're not your traditional friendships. Like I have friends, I do not have their numbers. I see them in my everyday life, and like Calgary is a small city.
Hmm.
I see them regularly.
Yeah.
We do not follow each other on any social media. We do not text each other. We don't have each other's numbers. None of it. But when I see you, it's all love, and I do want to know what have you
Yeah.
been up to. Like
Yeah.
we'll yap about crazy personal things. Like they know so much
Right.
about me,
Maybe
and I
too
know.
much.
Yeah, and like I'm like the worst. Okay, this is public transport. I see the same people on my little public transport every day. I don't know any of their names, but we get deep.
Yeah.
We get deep. It is. I love that. I
Yeah.
serendipitous. It's very serendipitous. I see you when I
Mhm.
see you, and I love it to see you.
Yeah.
But sometimes I worry when I haven't seen them in a while. I'm like, oh, are you okay?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I think adult friendships. I much prefer adult friendships over like high school friendships. I found that challenging for
Oh
me.
yeah, and I find like you also realize once you're out of school, out of university, that a lot of friendships were friendships because you spent every day
Proximity.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was on a lot of sports teams, and
Hmm.
teammates and friendships can be very, very confusing.
Yeah.
Um, that can be that's it's. I could go down that rabbit hole for
Hmm.
an entire hour.
Yeah.
That is a difficult thing to understand. And then when you come an adult, it's like, okay, like, how do I treat people who I'm in like my work friends?
Right.
They're my team.
Yeah.
But are we friends? And I can
Yeah.
say like in previous places I've worked, team, current place, friends.
Hmm.
And you get a feel for it.
Yeah.
The more you experience things, and with time, it's always the worst. Like
Hmm.
sometimes you really just need to go through things, and time needs to pass. And
Yeah.
I mean, your brain needs to grow.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But
Well.
I'm all tapped out on friends.
Yeah.
Also, if you are in Calgary and you want to be my friend, let me know.
Yeah.
I'm in the market for anyone who likes R&B music, who wants to go dancing with me at the club. Yeah, text us.
Same. Little thrift moment. Little farmers market.
Yeah,
Little
although
hike.
lost me.
Okay. So our next point is, you don't have to have your career figured out when you are 21 years old, as much
Yeah.
as they want to tell you in high school. And I'll be honest, our high school specifically was so, it was, they were like, Yeah, it was very much go to university, get a real career.
But
This
like
is what you need to set yourself up for.
they also said that and then gave you no additional information
Right.
about what the programs could be used for. Like I come from a family of educators.
Hmm.
My whole family has had education. So that's kind of what I was leading into
Yeah.
because I knew nothing else. I knew, oh, if you
Right.
go to nursing, you're a nurse. Like those programs where you can come out with a very defined career path.
Hmm.
Like anything in medicine, obviously you're going to be a medical professional.
Yeah.
It's very easy. It's a very easy transition.
Yeah.
Well, easier. And
Hmm.
then I went to university. I think I did a year and a half of general studies because I
Hmm.
was so overwhelmed with
Yeah.
that decision.
Hmm.
And I didn't even understand. Like, I probably would have really, really loved some trades. I'm very
Yeah.
with my. I mean, you see me use that drill.
Yeah.
I
Almost.
I just don't think that they supported or informed us very well.
Well, you don't have to have your career figured out, right? So this is the thing. When you leave high school, you unless you no, you know what? Some people come out of the womb and they're like, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer.
And those things are callings. Like I
Yeah.
strongly think that
Yeah.
those things. Like if you're called to something, pursue it.
Hmm.
Um,
Not the case for a lot of us, though.
No, no. And like if you're one of those I want to be a marine biologist baddies, step forward. Step forward. Me too. Yeah, I mean I see it every day. I work in an HR atmosphere. And that's exactly like it's not a career market right now either, I'd like to say. Like
Hmm.
how many times have you retrained? Because I've had 3, 4 different jobs here. Like,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you can't. The thing is, too, is you can't. Um, it's scary to say, but COVID has showed us that even the most comfy, cozy position might be taken away from you at some point. So you have to get comfortable with the idea that the first place that you go to, the first career that you have, the first workplace that you have, it might change. And you have to be open to that because that's the only constant in life is things are going to change. And nobody likes being the new person at a job, but I'll tell you, the first job that I got when I moved here, I believe that they just poach new grads because they don't know what they're looking for. I was also hired before they met me, before I moved here. It was a little sus, and I didn't know what I was looking for. And I was there, and I was like, wow, this really sucks. I'm not really making any money. Like, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Is this what this career is like? And then I decided to explore other options. I interviewed at other offices, and I was like, wow, the grass is, in fact, greener,
I
much
mean,
greener.
when I first got here, I went into the classic I don't know what I want to do, but I'm a people person. I did sales. Ugh.
Oh,
Which is funny because I am a people person. I love to talk and I
yeah,
love to get to know people.
yeah,
Um, but sometimes I'm like, nah, you don't need this product. You don't really need this.
yeah,
Like, I'll just get on out of here.
yeah. Well,
Yeah, I'm definitely not a salesperson.
yeah.
I mean, the older you get too, like the more you get to know yourself and your
Hmm.
strengths. And
Yeah.
I actually read a really interesting book because I also had this career spiral where I'm graduating in 4 months from university with my degree. No idea how I want to use
Hmm.
it. Zero idea. I did a
Hmm.
BBA, which I
Yeah.
like to say you're qualified for everything and nothing at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, so I did sales, hated it, but then I got to know what I was good at and how I see people and what education I liked too. Like
Hmm.
what part of my degree did I like? Because you
Hmm.
can talk about doing what you're good at, playing to your strengths, or doing what you're passionate at.
Hmm.
And I think that's the two ways to really take that because you always sometimes your passions make a horrible career.
Right.
I love to cook. Being a chef to me sounds a little bit horrible. It's very high
Yeah.
stress.
Yeah.
Like I just know lifestyle wise, not what I want.
Hmm.
But my strengths can turn into my passions. Like
Yeah. Absolutely.
so,
I think too is now it's not the case for everybody, but I find if you pursue what you're really passionate about as a career, as a way to make money, that can take the joy out of it because it's something that you have to do.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's true. Sometimes I'd like, and to take that for cooking, I was considered doing like catering for a
Hmm.
really long time,
Hmm.
and like something easy, like a pastry, like
Yeah.
a meat pie or something like that, where the prep isn't crazy, but just like planning everything
Right.
and working at it, I was like, oh no.
All of this to say, to like round this point out, um, you don't have to have your career figured out at 2021. Most people don't.
Yep.
You will probably change your career a few times. Um, and what I would suggest is the other thing is a lot of people say when you finish up high school, go right into university. That's not the best
Necessarily.
option for everyone. Take a year off, figure out what interests you, if that's what calls to you. If you go to university right away, take a bunch of different classes, figure out what you enjoy, and
I did classics and anthropology, and it was my favorite courses. They were my fun courses.
mhm,
So I highly recommend that. That is great advice,
yeah,
actually. Like, do some film courses, do some music theory courses, do what you're passionate at, learn more about it.
hmm
Um, and sometimes you find out, yeah, I do want to make my passion a career
yeah,
through that.
yeah.
So
So our next point is it's not cute not to try.
this one was a personal hit out on me when I was in university. Um, yeah, not cute not to try, guys.
hmm
You specifically for me, when I was thinking of this, I was thinking of university and I was thinking of like, I mean, I played ball and I worked hard at it, but was it my end all be all? I don't know because I didn't give it my 100%.
hmm
And at risk of sounding like a parent here, there's nothing worse than looking back at something and saying I could have done better or I could
Yeah.
have tried harder.
hmm
Um, because when you become an adult, like it really is where you are in life is a direct result of the effort that you put into it.
Absolutely.
So for me, it was school. I mean, when I first got into school, my GPA was abysmal. It was so after my first semester, my parent at one point the only turning point for me was I started dating someone who was like he said that to me once. Context alert. So I was saying that the guy I started seeing told me it's not cute not to try. And I went to the sunken place. I it was like it hit me and I hate that it took a man for me to realize
Right,
this.
right.
Oh my god.
Tragic.
Horrible. But essentially like this was someone who tried really hard in everything that they did.
hmm
And I was like, yeah, I'm having so much fun just being here.
Yeah.
Which is okay, like you can have fun being here, but if you're really not gonna try, I hope I never see you in a group project.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
um, you'll never know what you're fully capable of. You'll never
Yeah.
know what you're fully capable of.
Yeah.
And there are times in life when you need to be capable.
Yeah.
And everything is practice. Practice makes perfect, all of that, whatever. It's just not cute enough to try to be like, and for whatever reason you don't want to try. It's like, oh, the boy I'm with doesn't really shut up.
So I went to a party school
Mm,
and
that you did.
first year was a little bit rough because there was this expectation that you would party Monday through Saturday. There
Really?
was always something going on. There was an event somewhere where you could go out and get blasted and, skip your 8 a.m. the next day. And it was an unspoken thing that, the more you went out, the
More
I want to say
serious?
I don't want to say like cooler you were, but you could like be like, oh yeah, I slept through my 8:15 and I I have a midterm tomorrow morning, but I'm gonna go out.
I'm just gonna wing it,
I'm gonna
or
be still drunk. I'm gonna show up drunk.
I did that at a tutorial once. I came from a brunch to a tutorial pre math final.
Yeah,
Mimosas got me, guys.
yeah.
And I remember it was a very sobering moment actually because
Mhm.
I was not prepared for the test.
Yeah.
And I went to the tutorial. There was nothing like it. Then like oh, I'm gonna fail this class.
Yeah.
Sing
Yeah.
sober. Um, you can have fun. Don't not have fun.
Mhm.
Just you know, God, and don't even get me started on the cost. This is where like the real adult in me comes out. When I was a kid, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not paying for school. I was privileged in that.
Mhm.
My parents should have thrown me in the trash. um, and you know what?
Yeah.
After my first semester, I think that they really debated it.
Yeah.
But things cost money.
Mhm.
Time is money.
Mhm.
Um, if you really want to have fun, take a gap year.
Honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like take a gap year, travel, work, see the world. University is a little bit of a conveyor belt, I do think, to adulthood, to the real world.
Yeah.
You can take a gap year post university if you want. It's a lot harder to get a job. I will say that. But you need to take some time to experience some things.
Yeah.
or learn moderation.
Mhm.
But I don't know how many 19-year-olds know moderation because I sure didn't.
Yeah, it's you know what I mean? And this is the thing too, like, we're talking to our younger selves, our brains weren't developed fully, right? Some things you just have to learn the hard way, and I think this might be one of them.
Yeah.
You can say it till the cows come home, as they say.
Yeah, they're probably looking at us right now like, okay, geezers.
Yeah, no, honestly. Yeah, but take from it what you will.
Yeah, try. Whatever
Yeah,
you want to try at, try. Give it 100%. Oh, I want to learn how to do nails. Do it.
yeah.
Like, whatever the path is, it's not always specific to school. Just give it your best.
And on that note, very I'm excited about this one.
What is it?
Our next point is it's about hookup culture.
This one is pretty university related. That place is,
Yes, yes.
yeah.
It's definitely you know, I feel like specifically one night stands in university are very what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for?
I have so many opinions on this. It could be, um, they're like, oh, I met this girl at the bar last night. We went home. Like, it's like, oh my god, that doesn't make you cool. Please stop.
Yeah,
They're overhyped.
that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I would say this is specifically to women. This message brought to
Hmm.
you
By woman.
by women. Um, there's a very, very high chance that you will not get. You're gonna have
Yes.
to read between the lines here because I'm not spelling this out on the internet. So sorry.
Hmm.
Um, you will not get what is intended for you out of a one night stand.
Right.
Um,
Much easier for men.
much easier for men. I've always thought that one night stands were very coded for men.
Yeah.
It's very, you know, it's fulfilling for them.
Yeah.
And not to say like it can't be fulfilling for women if that's what time you're on. That's what time you're on.
Yeah.
But I just mean physically.
Yeah. You have to you, you definitely have to get to know someone in some capacity. Now, when I say one night stand, I'm not talking about, like you matched on Tinder and you were talking for a week and then you met them at a bar and you hooked up. Like that still has some get to knowing them behind it.
Yeah.
Hookup culture, like one night stands, I'm talking about going to a bar and seeing this random person and taking them home and you're like, this is the first time I'm seeing your face.
Heebie jeebies.
What's up? You know, that's it sounds awful and
Well, it's not awful for in this
yeah.
day and age. Like it's really the norm. Like I was insane and like I thought everyone who I didn't know had some type of venereal disease. I wouldn't
Right.
even broach it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe I was a bit of a prude too. Like
I mean, it's definitely, I I have had a one night stand and I will say it was definitely not. I okay, if I could say anything to my younger self,
yeah.
it would be when you're going to the bar, what I think is really cute and fun is going to the bar, you see a really cute person and you have a little dancey dance and maybe you give a smooch, maybe like monitor the zone, make sure he doesn't have any cold sores, he or she, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And then give a little smooch and then run your ass home when the lights come on.
Get out of there.
Go back to your humble abode, do your skincare, drink some water, snuggle up in your own bed that has, you know, I find a lot of young men, they don't have what do you like
Oh, like a top sheet.
a top sh- a top sheet. A lot of them don't even have
More than one pillow.
the oh my gosh, what is it?
Do they?
The it's just like a mattress on the floor.
Oh, their beds on pallets. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bed frame.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's mostly underwhelming. And again, if that's something that you really are feeling in the moment, do you. The other thing about hookup culture is do what feels right for
For
you.
you.
You know?
Ugh,
Who
don't.
cares? Who cares? There's a lot of stigma around, especially women going out and meeting new people and not being in a relationship and
Not
hooking up.
like.
So silly.
Here's my thing. If you want to go crazy, go crazy.
Yeah.
Do it safely.
Right.
I will always advocate for safe sex.
Yeah.
It is scary in these streets, guys. God, tough place to be as a young woman.
Yeah.
Tough place to be.
Mhm.
It's very different from women than men, and I
Yeah.
think that that's an important piece of it too.
Yeah.
It's hookup culture for men and for women.
So
Two different cultures.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna speak to what they think or what men think because boy, I have no idea.
Yeah, no, honestly, like
To this day,
if we could put ourselves in, oh, I don't really want to, but
they're nefarious.
but
I'll leave
yeah,
it there.
just you do you, be safe about it and follow your gut. So, our next point is on identity evolution.
Mm,
So,
big one.
you know,
2026
you,
rebrand.
yeah, when I, like it's funny that you're calling 20 somethings kids because it genuinely who I was when I was 20 is like I
She's dead.
don't
She's dead.
yeah, what were you doing? I'll get like memories on Snapchat or whatever it is and I'm like, "You know what? That was a bit of a jump scare."
Those snap memories are horrible.
And the amount of growing that you do as a person, what you discover about yourself is huge and you're going to change who you are and you can't really hold on to who you were as an 18, 19, 20-year old because it's gonna
I'm begging you not to,
yeah.
actually. I'm begging you
Yeah,
not to. Let yourself evolve. But yeah, identity evolution. For me, it was huge because I played sports my whole
right.
life at like a super intense level.
Yeah.
Like it was just a lot. And then one day, oh my God, I'm not in any more sports.
Hmm.
I had very little personality,
Yeah.
um, very little swag to may I add. I was always in athleisure. Um, but I kind of had to form a personality and form
Yeah.
what are my likes and dislikes now
Hmm.
that I have time to develop them.
Yeah.
Um, what a rebrand it was. And I really tried a little bit of everything.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I say just give yourself grace as you grow and change. Um, but know that like 5 years from now, we could be different people completely as well.
Yeah.
Um, God only knows what you're going to learn in 5 years. Like the 5 year plan thing, I used to love the concept of.
Hmm.
I've told my boss this now. Something she asked me in my interview was, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?" Or maybe this wasn't her. Anyways, I was asked this in an interview, and this was like mid. I don't know who I am. I don't know who I'm gonna be. Like I was in a crisis. Um, and I answered it way too honestly, and I was like, who really knows what the years will bring? It was,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't recommend that by the way. Be professional in job interviews.
Yeah.
I got the job, but they say that your body cells regenerate every 7 years,
Hmm.
so you're like physically different. Now that
Yeah.
could also be a load. I don't know where that information came from in my brain.
I heard that too, but it's probably on like
Facebook.
Facebook.
My mom told me.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows?
But you will become a completely different person, and there's something comforting about that. That
Oh yeah.
the people who knew us way back when
Hmm.
don't
Yeah.
anymore. You don't know what I'm interested in. You don't know what I like.
Hmm.
Um, you change so much, and I think walking through life with that expectation on yourself and others as well, because sometimes it's for the better, sometimes it's for the worse. We all
Yeah.
make all kinds of changes.
Hmm.
um, it's just a good thing to hold on to. And earlier, I was talking about personal growth when looking at people in high school and how
Yeah.
they've evolved. And that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like their identities have changed as well.
Yeah.
Um, it'd be an insane thing to think that like you're the only person who's changed.
Right. That's why I think the idea of like a high school reunion is so bizarre because, you know, speaking from someone who I moved away as soon as I graduated, and
Mm-hmm.
I visited home here and there, but definitely nothing substantial, maybe 4 or 5 days at a time.
Yeah.
And to think about, I have this idea of who these people are, or like who I knew them as an 18-year-old. Like we're 28 years old, which is really scary. And I have no idea who anybody is anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like it's intriguing, but also, you know, you it's inevitable and like what you're interested in when you're in your early 20s is probably going to change like I mean kind of similar but I was very much involved in one sport. I wasn't like a crazy athlete like you, but my identity definitely revolved around one thing and then I got out of it and I was like I have nothing to do. I don't what I was trying to figure out myself as well. And when you get older there's this expectation that if you didn't venture into something when you were like 7 or 8 years old, you're just never going to be good at it. You're an old geezer and you can't learn something new. Um, just like
Challenge it
challenge it,
for
put
sure.
yourself out there, be uncomfortable for a couple months, try
Yeah.
something new, and you might love it.
Like in any regard. I mean, try that new workout class, pick
Yeah,
up a new instrument, learn a new language.
yeah,
I'm doing. I mean, I definitely, it's so funny. I was so hyper athletic that now I'm like, oh, I'm kind of cool off that. Like, you're way more active than me now. But I've also just decided I've ordered a electric violin.
hell yeah, that's so random. I love it.
You know, I just, it's so weird.
Electric violin.
Well, yeah, I
Okay,
can't play a real one here.
right. Oh yeah, fair.
Yeah, also, if you guys hear anything in the background, it's where I live, so deal
Yeah,
with it. I do.
yeah.
But I just, yeah, like you want to try new things, and who knows, in 7 months I could be a prodigy.
Yeah.
Like,
Give it your all and see what happens.
truth. I'm moving into now.
We are moving into, oh, this is a good one. You are on your own timeline. So please, 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 please do not compare. I mean, you're going to anyway, but do not try not to compare your timeline to everybody else around you.
Yeah, and understand this is a saying as old as time. Comparison is the theft.
Yeah.
Is a thief of joy.
Yeah.
I fumbled that one. But it is, and it is in all regards, at least for me. Um, it's okay to be motivated. It's okay to want things on a certain timeline. But like where I struggle, oh my god, I'm about to say something that's going to age me with our generation and with younger kids coming up,
Yeah.
and I see it all the time. I work in hiring people, so like I talk to people of all different generations regularly.
Hmm.
The worst trait in young people coming up is impatience.
Yeah.
Is and not to read anyone, but it's like almost like this expectation and entitlement that like this timeline will happen for me.
Right.
And when you have those feelings about a timeline and it doesn't happen for you, like some people are destroyed by that.
Yeah.
And that is such a tough thing to watch.
Yeah.
I've seen it with people I love that like they're not doing what they want to do in that moment. And like it
Hmm.
is a crisis. And it happens for a lot of 26-year-olds that
Oh
I
yeah.
know. Because 26, it's kind of a brutal year
Yeah.
because you're not like at that stage of adulthood where like
Yeah.
it's consistent. Like you're growing in your career. You're probably your office's whipping post. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it just happens for different people at different times.
Hmm.
And again, the more motivated, like I said earlier, with it's not cute not to try. The more motivated you are, and the more you work at it, that'll just facilitate it.
Yeah.
But it's not a golden rule. Nobody owes you anything.
Yeah.
And as far as being on your own timeline, that timeline can evolve as well with you. I
Yeah.
mean, mine certainly did. I didn't know what I wanted to do as a career until I was 24.
Yeah.
Like it, so where other 24-year-olds are having kids, they're getting married, they're settled down.
That's a big one. I think especially I don't know if it's just like a small town thing, but it feels like a small town thing. Um, I went to my boyfriend's hometown for the first time for Christmas, and I swear 9 times out of 10, if we met someone, one of his old friends, they were either pregnant or married, or they were on their way. They had a house, they had this, this, and this, and it's very easy in those moments to be like, if you're not there, if you're not on that timeline, to feel pressure to get there. And I feel like I've seen this in a lot of cases where, especially when it comes to young women and relationships, and like as a 28-year-old, the big thing now is you're seeing everybody get engaged and start to have kids. And seeing that pressure, it can very easily put you into a relationship that doesn't suit you because you feel like you need to be engaged, you need to have kids.
What's really scary to me, and there are cases where people have been together for short periods of time and have been married their entire lives to each other and have
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful relationships
Yeah.
and have created beautiful families and beautiful memories. I don't know how much that's happening now. I
Yeah.
see, like, it's so easy to, in relationships for timelines. I mean, you look at it and you see more people are getting divorced than ever.
Yeah.
And I think that patience
Mhm.
is an underrated feeling as it
Yeah.
relates to timelines and relationships.
Yeah.
Um, I've been with my partner for 6 years. And I used to say this all the time when I was younger. And typically, those things that you say when you're younger, as pertains to like marriage and kids, you can throw out the window.
Mhm.
But I was like, no, I want to be in a relationship for 7 years before I get engaged, or before, because I mean, how terrifying? Because you evolve, you change, and you can do that with a partner, and you can do that so that like sometimes you're ahead and you're like bringing your partner with you, saying, "Come on,"
Yeah.
and then other times you're back here and your partner's up there, and it's
Mhm.
they're making a choice to also say, "Come up here with me."
Yeah.
Um, but God, when you don't have a strong, like a fundamental understanding of your partner and their timeline and how that can be pushed back onto you,
Mhm.
you can make some really horrible decisions. You
Yeah.
can, like, I don't know, I guess everything's amendable. Divorce exists for a reason. Like,
Yeah.
but it's so
Yeah.
nice to not have to go through any of that. Like,
Yeah. The other thing too is with, again, gonna age us here, but social media and dating apps and things like it's very it's easy to compare yourself, and everybody's posting their highlight reel. The couples that's posting all the time, and you're like, oh my gosh, they love each other so much. There could be a lot of stuff going on
They're
behind
yelling at
closed
each other in
doors.
private.
Like, I you know what, I went to Mexico last week, and I was staying at an adult only resort, and I
Love this.
remember at like 1 a.m. this couple like storming through the resort, and they were like screaming at each other, and I'm like, that sucks. You're on a beautiful vacation
You
and you
know
hate each other.
they're posting pictures of their margaritas,
Right.
cheersing. Like,
Exactly. This is my thing. Like, you really don't know, and to compare yourself to what they're presenting outside is, you don't know.
and an easy way to not compare yourself to anyone is to mind your business.
Yeah.
Is to really mind your
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
If you take what you see on social media too seriously,
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's the gulag for you, babe.
Yeah.
Like, it is. You'll be in
Yeah.
your own mental prison.
Yeah.
Why don't I look like this? Why don't I have that much money? Why am I not, in love, or why am I not married, or why am I not engaged?
Yeah.
The why am I not engaged one is hitting for our age group
Oh
right
my God.
now.
So bad. It's also when you plan on marrying, okay, you don't plan on getting divorced, right? So if you're like, I want to be engaged, you're going to be with this person for the rest of your life. So to be like, I want this now, what is the rush?
Yeah.
Honestly, what is the rush? You've got years.
When you're out looking, like, why is it not me? Why is no one picking me? And you're having a hard time because all your friends are in relationships. Do you, and you'll find the right person. Like that.
100%.
It
It's
happens
crazy.
so
It's
fast.
crazy.
I've seen it so many
It's
times.
so awful because, when you're in it and you're like, why am I not finding my person? And someone says, just stop looking and do your own thing. Like,
Shut
you're like,
up.
shut up. But truly, the only way that you really find someone who's compatible for you in the long term is to be comfortable in your own skin and know what you bring to the table and what you're looking for. And to do that, you have to be okay with the idea of being single for an extended period of time. And you're like,
Yeah.
if I find someone, I find someone. If not, I'm just going to keep doing what brings me joy. And
When you
that's when they come running.
they line up at the door.
Honestly.
When you're being your most authentic self,
Exactly.
comparison is it's like a problem that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. I mean, I'm not super on social media.
Hmm.
I'm not plagued by those issues. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I find peace. Instagram stories scare me now. um, but it's nice to be your authentic self and have that sense of peace
Hmm.
is not something that I definitely experienced when I was like 17, 18, probably all the way to 21.
Yeah.
But
Definitely not.
here we are now, folks.
Here we are. So, all that to say, you are on a different timeline compared to most of your friends. The other thing that's interesting is you typically are on the same timeline with your friends up until the end of university for the most part
Yeah.
because you've got your classes from 9 to 5, then you might have a part-time job afterwards, and you're like that you're all working to graduation, so you're all there. And then after you graduate, your friends might move to different provinces, you might scatter, you might end up, like you said, some people become mothers, some people are career driven, and you're going all these different directions. So it doesn't make sense to compare your timeline because there's so many different ways that you can go,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. You find what's compatible for you in terms of how you want to live your life, and then your friendships evolve.
Yeah,
Wow, look at this
exactly.
full circle moment right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, way to say that.
Yeah. So, what do we have left here? Okay. The next point is, oh, this one's a good one. Love yourself in every season.
Tough one, but a
Tough.
good one. It
Yeah.
is. It's specifically tough. Like, I think fresh out of high school and first year of university
Yeah.
was probably the hardest one because I personally was not looking for internally for validation. I was externally looking for that. Who wants to
Yeah.
validate me, babe?
Yeah.
Um, but how many times I can remember all the way from like 15 to even sometimes now, this is an area where I'm consistently learning, consistently building of, oh, I wish I looked different, or oh,
Yeah.
I wish I was in better shape. I swear I've been saying I wish I was in better shape for 10 years. And I
Honestly,
look at pictures of me in high school and I'm like,
she looked
did
good.
anyone want to punch her in the face?
Yeah.
There's something so beautiful about the hard years
Oh,
of
yeah.
growing up.
Yeah.
Um, and I love meeting people that were like, I was that were like super authentically them and like loved themselves through every season. I'm like, oh my god, you're so cool. Like I
Yeah.
really wish I was you.
No, honestly. I think too is a big part of this is being able to look back and forgive yourself for not knowing what you know now.
Yeah.
It's very easy to, you think back to your 16-year-old self and you might get the chills a little bit because you're like, she was so stupid. Why did she do this? Why did she do that? But the other thing about those moments in life is the most pivotal moments often come from really shitty mistakes or like your first relationship, like your relationship when you're 19 years old. I don't know why. It's like the night you that when you are 19. Now, mind you, there are some people who end up marrying the person they were with when they were 19, but I feel like for a lot of girls specifically, it's a relationship that really,
Warfare.
yes, that's the word.
Mental
Yeah,
warfare. They were sent for you.
yeah.
They
And you make mistakes, and you might look back on that and be like, why did I stay so long with that person, or why did I put up with that?
you
But
didn't know yourself.
you didn't,
Babe, how are you supposed to make any
right?
like realistic decisions when you're not? Yeah, I just but like mental clarity, I know they always say like your brain's not fully developed. You'll feel it.
No,
When
it's
that brain
true.
develops,
It's true.
I swear I felt the day it happened.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember being like
yeah,
I woke up, I came up out of bed like this, and I went,
yeah,
oh my god. Full body chills.
yeah.
What have I been doing?
Honestly,
And
yeah.
if you can it's tough. Like if you're not raised to have a really strong sense of self from a young age, which like parents have their own thing going on. We'll get into
Hmm.
that. It is if you're not rooted in that, you have to grow and learn and like lean into it as you get older. And that time spent leaning into it, like you're
Hmm.
gonna make some mistakes, babe.
Yeah,
Love yourself through every season because you look back at pictures of you and you're like, oh, such a cutie baby. Like I just
yeah,
look at me in university and I'm like, oh, she tried so hard.
right.
Like, and then sometimes not at all.
And I find too, again, being in my late 20s now is, oh, God, it hurts me every time I say it. But it's like, it's the fear of approaching 30, awful, but also, you know, you got to think of yourself as like an 80-year-old woman. Like
Yeah,
looking back,
yeah.
I love that. I forget where I saw it, but it was like, imagine waking up one morning and you are like the day prior you were an 80-year-old, you wake up and you're this age again for one more day and you can live it however you want, like just enjoy the body that you're in. You're never going to be this young ever again, and we are young,
We are young. Oh my
right?
god. Actual shout out to every 15-year-old who thought 20 was old.
Oh,
Babe, you're not
crazy.
going to be where you think you are.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so the next one is on accountability. So this is pretty broad, but um
It's a
what
tough
what
one.
I would like to talk about here is acknowledging your shortcomings and what you need to work on, because if you don't self-reflect, then you are going to
Self sabotage.
self-sabotage, and you're going to project on all of your relationships that you get into, and you're going to follow into the same patterns that you've had.
I also would like to talk about holding people accountable,
Mhm.
holding your friends accountable. The worst thing I see, and if I get any flack for this, fair enough. I guess it's a hard message to receive, as for me it was as a young person,
Mhm.
where you're going wrong, what you're doing wrong. But I had a lot of yes men around me, and they held me back. They held
Mhm.
me back. People who don't want to hold you accountable but say they love you. I don't know if they love you like that. I
Yeah.
think like I hold my friends. I see them in a certain light, at a certain standard, and when I think that maybe you're choosing things that are not aligned with the person that you are
Yeah.
and the way that you live, you need to have that conversation with them. You can't be afraid of a hard conversation, um, because maybe they don't see it, and it's dangerous. I mean, that
Mhm.
is the entirety of like a lot of really harmful cultural topics. I mean, like the boys club, locker room talk, and things like that. That is a lack of accountability on a
Yeah.
very large scale.
Mhm.
That is very harmful to women and to people in general, really. Um, but as on a personal side, you should look at yourself every once in a while. Like I have made some very interesting decisions, and yeah, some mistakes, and I didn't have that self reflection during those mistakes and during those decisions.
Mhm.
But after it all blew up in my face, it was a it was a hard conversation to have with myself. It was like, okay, well, like I'm not the person I thought I was
Yeah.
to have gotten to be who I was, and now here I am.
Mhm.
What went wrong?
Yeah.
Like, what was I doing?
Yeah.
And ever since, kind of, I think I was 20, and that blew up in my decisions blew up in my face, um, very publicly, may I add. Yeah, I think ever since then, it's been a big part of my day to day of self reflection. Now, and you can go too far on the other side, where it's now you just have anxiety, babe.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
you're second
Yeah.
guessing every
Yeah.
single move you make. Let yourself live, but please reflect on your behaviors and hold yourself accountable.
Yeah. And I think, um, again, going back to accountability in yourself, it's very easy to get into relationships and see the
Mm.
shortcomings of another person, and you will see it, and it's easier to see it in someone else obviously than to see it in yourself, but you really have to do that internal work if you want something to last a significant amount of time, because if not, you're
To me, there's literally nothing scarier than having a debrief with your girlfriends post romantic partner
mm.
like friction, and having to be the person that says, "Well, you did." Like,
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
kind of
that was a
crazy of
little,
you,
yeah, yeah,
or that was a little much.
yeah,
That is a scary, scary place to be in.
hmm,
But there's such, like, I love it when people do that to me.
oh yeah,
It's because you're right. Like,
yeah,
thank you. And it's good when it's with the right attitude. Like, you
hmm,
can pretty easily tell when someone is trying to help, not hinder.
hmm,
Now, I don't know if many people will tell you what's wrong with you to hinder you, but yeah, I think just making sure that you have the right people around you who will help you in that, because that's a hard thing to do by yourself.
oh yeah.
Like me and my journaler,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's every once in a while I'll read some of my journal out to like one of my best friends, and I'm like, "Hey, this is crazy." Like, "Hey, does this make me a bad person, or does this make me kind of vapid?" Like,
yeah.
you need to have those moments of, "Is this the worst possible trait I could hold on to?" Like,
We are now on, oh my goodness. This is your parents' first time living too.
ugh,
Touchy subject.
I'll cry. um, Touchy subject. You know, your parents are, you can't pick them. We'll start with that.
It's
You
true.
can't pick them, and sometimes it's luck of the draw.
Yeah.
But also that relationship evolves.
Oh yeah.
No, my favorite thing about growing older is how I see my parents.
Mhm.
Like, I really do appreciate that. God, such an asshole of a
Oh, the
kid. Oh
worst.
my God. And I feel like most kids are, because you are put on this earth and your parents cater to you, and you're their dependent.
Yeah.
You're so dependent on them. And as you grow more independent, you think about, oh my God, like I think about my parents had kids when they were much, like, I'm older than they were.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine
No.
trying to raise children.
No.
I think my mom would have had a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old. No, my father would have. Terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, I think about it all the time. The things that you say to someone will go with them through life. They'll
Mhm.
carry that through life. You say one wrong thing to your kid, they're messed up for life.
Oh my god, there's so many ways you can mess up kids. Like I there's this book that I read and she basically said, obviously there are people who have major major trauma when they're kids,
Yeah.
but everyone to some extent is going to have micro traumas. There's no way that you can be a perfect parent.
No.
Um and it all just comes down to the society that we're living in. Like, even for example, if your dad like works away 2 weeks on 2 weeks off, like that's a caregiver that you need to be around 24/7. That isn't there, and it's not his fault that he has to work and provide for his family, but
Right.
that is going to shape who you are in a way,
Exactly. And it's
right?
so tough, because you get to a certain age where you're out of the house and you can look back and you can really nitpick on how you were raised, and
Yeah.
like I guess the sum of your parts. You can look at the sum of your parts and look at, why am I like this? And an interesting thought for me was like mosaic of people who raised me, because I was
Hmm.
babysat, I was coached,
Yeah.
I was parented by my friends' parents as well. Like, and they each kind of taught me something different, and they served their role. But my parents, like, I mean, I had great parents, and I still was questionable at times. not born with this innate knowing
Yeah.
how to parent a child.
Yeah.
They figure things out, they learn, they evolve, they go through the same thing. So it's tough to hold things against your parents.
Yeah.
As an adult, I've loved getting to know more about my mom and more about my dad and what they were like when they were younger and what shaped them and
Yeah.
what can I unlearn that they
Yeah.
should have unlearned or what can I learn that they haven't taught me yet that I just haven't broached there. You know, like
Yeah.
I know exactly when I have my first child. Mom, come live with me, babe. I have a bedroom for you right here. I need some
Yeah.
help
Yeah.
because like my parents were super independent when they were young.
Mhm.
I would never be able to do that.
Yeah.
I would never be able. They couldn't rely on their parents financially.
Mhm.
They were the first in their well, my mom was the first in her family to go to university. Like very much on their own.
Yeah.
Terrifying. I'm very very lucky that they are still super supportive. I mean, yeah, I could nitpick on a bunch of things, but
Yeah.
that would make me an asshole if
Yeah.
I'm being honest.
Yeah. I mean, and the other thing, like, if you come from a family dynamic that isn't as hearty and wholesome, you
Yeah.
know, you have to think about the fact that your parents are only presenting the parenting that they themselves have
Received.
received. So you have to think about how they were raised and what they saw as a kid. And this almost makes me cry thinking about like picturing your mom and your dad as little kids and like the love that they received when they were even like little babies. Like you are shaped by those first relationships with your parents and how much care you got. So you kind of have to take a step back and
Look at the generational trauma of it
yeah,
all.
generational trauma is everything. And what you can do is you can appreciate certain aspects of your parents and what they did for you, and also see things that you'd be like, okay, maybe I'll try something differently if or when I become a parent. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna do this differently, see how it works out, but know that you also will not be a perfect parent. I think about when I would have really crazy fights with my mom when I was in high school.
Yep.
Um, and at the time, I'm like, oh my God, she's being so inconsiderate. I can't believe, like, she just needs to relax. Meanwhile, I was telling the woman that I was going to hang out and like have a sleepover with my friend, and I was like
Track and field.
passed out and ditched somewhere.
Yeah.
And then she would find out that I wasn't well, yeah, this actually happened. She found out
Oof.
that I wasn't at my friend's place. She drove by there and then she's got like this mom brain and she figured out where I was and she like found me at a party somewhere and she was like, get your ass home. And let me tell you, I was mortified. But when I think about putting myself in that position with a 16-year-old daughter, I have no idea how I'd handle it. It makes me want to throw up thinking about it
Yeah.
because you want your
But
kid safe and that's where it comes
and they
from.
just want anything but that.
Exactly,
Oh, they're
exactly.
working against you, actually.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's a big piece. And also, a quick shout out to anyone who's ever done like therapy with your parents.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Um, horrible, horrible when you're a child.
Yeah.
Very helpful for your therapist to help you. I found
Mhm.
out later that's why they do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, what is this
It's
unique
making
torture?
sense.
Why would people do this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think anyone who knows me in high school and looked at my relationship with my parents and my mom, we fought like cats and
Yeah.
dogs. Like it was crazy.
Mhm.
We don't do that anymore. We love each other now.
Yes.
You again, I think this happened for me when I was like 22 and I was like, "Oh my god, why am I mean to my mom?
Yeah.
She's done nothing but house me, clothe me, feed me and just
Yeah.
really try her best." But it's tough. My mom was a teacher in the high school that I went to. I don't recommend
Yeah.
that.
It's a tough dynamic
Oh
to
my
navigate.
god.
Yeah.
Own special form of hell, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest. She knew when I was in trouble before I did. There
Yeah.
were times she walked into a classroom when I was on my phone. She walked by the classroom, seen me on my phone, walked in, took my phone out of my hand, and said, "You'll get it back at dinner," and then left the room.
No.
And everyone was like,
At dinner.
I did not get it back at dinner. It was gone for 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness. Again, for those who don't have great relationships with their parents, as you become an adult, it is okay to set boundaries for yourself.
Yeah.
A big thing, especially if you're moving away from home, is the holidays are coming around and there's this expectation for you to go home and spend a significant amount of time with family. If you don't feel accepted by your given family or, you're anxious about it, and you're really not feeling good, you do not owe anything to your family to go home if that's not feeling right for you.
Yeah.
The other thing is when you become an adult, you will find a chosen family and you will find friends that really fill that for you. So do what's best for you. And I think a big thing with me and my mom. We have become so much closer now that we don't live together.
Yeah, I am definitely co-signing that.
I think it's a mother-daughter thing, honestly. Like,
It's just so tough too. I mean, like high school, like that, the end of puberty for a lot of time's up with the beginning of menopause. And if you want to talk about nuclear war,
yeah.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's you have to acknowledge things that go on in your parents' life as well.
Oh yeah.
But like, now that being said, you're right. Like, if you just don't have a good relationship with your family, and it is based off of safety and acceptance,
Mhm.
that is a different story.
Yeah.
Hopefully, for everyone, they have a safe person that can play parent or
Mhm.
can fill that hole for them.
Yeah.
Void. Whoa. Pause. It's getting
Uh,
censored.
Anyways,
Moving on to the last
moving
point.
on. Actually, we have 2 points
Oh,
left.
really? Never mind.
Okay, so number 11, stop caring what other people think, which is a great point to make with this being our first podcast episode because I know we're both very anxious and jittery about the idea of us being perceived, especially by the people we grew up with, or like there's always that awkward. Why are they doing that? What are they trying to do?
Oh my god. We're about to post this, and I'm gonna see that little like it's been sent. Like,
Oh my gosh, and you don't know what
oh,
group chat it's been sent to, what they're talking about. But you know what?
they're talking about you.
It
Like,
is.
it
It is what it
truly,
is.
truly. Who cares?
Yeah.
Take that thought, crumple it out, and just get rid of it. Oh my god. I've been held back for so long by
Yeah.
caring what people think. I mean, why? What value does that bring into your life?
Nothing.
Nothing. It holds you back. It's it's goes without saying. You're like, stop caring what people think. Truly, truly stop caring.
Yeah.
Wear exactly what you want.
Mhm.
Um, say exactly what you want to say. And now, not to say that there's no repercussions for actions and words. You'll learn that too, but don't hold yourself back because of it.
Yeah.
I think of many times I did that. You?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to get into the gym more often,
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is when I first started going, I have this fear of taking up space and being perceived by other people, especially in the gym, like not really knowing my way around, and maybe having the wrong form and things like that. I would actually avoid using equipment because I've never used it before, and I'm like, if somebody sees me using this wrong, I'm going to have to cancel my membership. I'm going to have to move, like,
I'm
and
gonna have to move.
I'm going to have to move.
I was
They
like
can't see me
nodding, and I
out.
was like, wait.
They can't see me out anywhere. This is awful. I remember one of my first days at Good Life. I went to like Fit for Less before, and it was all very like
Beginner styles,
beginner
yeah.
equipment. And I went to the the free rack for the first time, and I was like trying to move this like bar, and it wasn't working. And a girl came up to me. Oh my gosh, she's a goddess, like most beautiful. Like she's probably an influencer, and she was like, "Oh, it's okay. Like you just move this down." And oh my god, I
I love
turned
you.
so red, but also I was like, that was so sweet. And people are not perceiving you the way that you think they are. They're doing their own shit. They're focused on themselves. And
Uh,
if they do perceive you, they're like, here,
yeah.
you know?
And it's funny because I feel like I'm obviously, when I'm out and about, I'm very, very extroverted.
Yeah.
Now when I'm in my home, no one talk to me. Don't come over here. I think I've had 3 people here. Like, I am quite introverted at times, but for whatever reason, when I'm in public, she's not mysterious at all. She can't try to be mysterious. Like, I just can't help it.
Mhm.
And again, grew up in the gym. Ugh, how many times am I going to say that? I actually hate it because it was such a past identifier for me.
Yeah.
But now I think about how I used to just move in the gym. Like, it never occurred to me to care what people thought there. And it was so freeing. I think about, I would walk up to people like, hey, I don't know how to do this. Can I watch you do it? Like, whoa. There are many
Yeah.
times when I'm like, maybe I shouldn't care what people thought of me. But it's so freeing. Like, I'm really, really happy that that is one place I never had anxiety.
Yeah.
Now there's a couple of things that like will set me off that I'm still trying to be like, oh, like I'm really clumsy. I will fall down walking just like on the street. And it's really funny. My boyfriend made a comment the other day, and he was like, "Yeah, after a while, like as an adult, you kind of stop doing that." And I was like, "What?"
That's a crazy statement. That's so
um,
funny.
I don't think you do because I haven't. But realistically, you're a blip in someone's day. And that's
Yeah.
always been very comforting to me.
Yeah.
You're a blip in someone's day.
Mhm.
They're not going to carry this forever.
Yeah.
And if they do, they're weird. Like, it's
Yeah.
not you, it's them.
Yeah. Mhm.
Put yourself out there. What happens? Someone says they don't like it. Like, that doesn't really impact how you like it.
Yeah.
I hate
Yeah.
seeing young women not speak up for themselves, not wanting to take space up in the gym is a big one.
Yeah.
And if you see that and you're more like me, where you like to make a fool of yourself regularly in public, make that effort to make someone else comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, it carries with you, like you said,
Yeah.
like that how that woman came up to you impacted you,
Yeah.
and it's so nice to be remembered as an impactful person. Like I'm sure if you seen
Absolutely.
that girl around now, you'd be like,
Yeah.
I know you.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thanks, babe.
All right. So this brings us to our last point, and that is it will all be okay.
Yeah, guys, it's rough. Young adulthood is tough. You're learning a lot of things for the first time. You're exposed to more, like, just harsh realities than you've ever been. You're not sheltered anymore. But putting your head down and just trying to get through it is a pretty good tactic.
Yeah.
You take things as they come, they get better. You meet the right people, you put yourself out there, or you reel yourself in
Mhm.
sometimes. Just trust yourself. If it seems horrible now, it won't in 7 months, probably. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's always like, if I'm feeling the funk for longer than 6 months, I'm calling my doctor.
Yeah. That's a good point. Good point. I think a big marker for this too, to kind of look back at the times where you were really anxious and you're like, oh my gosh, am I going to get out of this? Is keeping a journal.
Mhm.
Because when I tell you, when I go back and reread my journal from 2020, I'm like, girl, relax. You are being so dramatic right now, and like, calm down. What is going on? And like the men that had a hold on me, that I
Mhm.
was like, my life is over. That this guy is not giving me attention, or like ghosted me. Like, you don't want him.
Yeah, a lot of the times when you're like I said, that relationship from 19, or you said that actually.
Yeah.
um Wait till you're 25
Yeah.
and you go out for drinks with your girls and you're like,
Yeah.
I actually forgot. Like, and sometimes when that gets brought up, you're like, oh my gosh,
Yeah. It's
that was
alarming.
that was that was locked in there.
Yeah.
um no, you're so right. I had something to say to follow up what you were saying, but it's disappeared from me.
I think, like I said before,
Oh,
especially in your 20s, go
sorry,
ahead.
before I lose it, I'm so
Go ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead.
The journaling,
Yeah.
great advice.
Yeah.
There are times when I've been like, when you're a little girl and you're writing your diary and maybe
Mhm.
you're really upset about nothing and you're crying
Yeah.
and there's like a teardrop and you're
Yeah.
like, maybe you circled it and you're like, that's a tear. That's how it feels sometimes when I'm
Yeah.
journaling, and then like the next day I read it. I'm like,
Yeah.
relax,
Yeah.
calm down. It's Yeah, I think something we've talked about. We both journal.
Yeah.
If you are struggling in any way, it's a very, very healthy way to
Yeah.
get it out there, to see it all on paper.
Hmm.
It helps you evaluate it, and get through it to the place where it's not as hard to talk about. It's not as rough to look at, and
Yeah.
things get better.
Hmm. I think too, when you're going through those times in your life where you're thinking that it's not going to be okay, again, going back and rereading the times where you also thought it wasn't going to be okay, and you now have this perspective that it is going to be okay. It's going to be so much better than you could imagine it to be. um, I think that's very comforting in the moment, that you will again look back on this moment at some point and be like, you're fine. It's all
Yeah.
going to work out in the end. The wrong people are going to leave your life, the right people are going to enter it. Things are going to shift, and that's okay. And again, like you said, just taking it day by day, putting your head down and doing what you need to get through it. Leaning on the people that you have in your life. And
Yeah.
yeah.
And this being said, if you're in like a bad situation or anything like that, and you're like, oh, it'll get better, you do have to be taking the right actions.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like if you do nothing about a horrible situation, babe, nothing's gonna change.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not gonna improve magically. But the only way the only way to get to the other side of it is through it.
Hmm.
And it's tough. You really do have, sometimes you have to buckle up. Like when I'm in a depressive episode, the only way through that is like you kind of have to grit your teeth and just
Yeah.
go through the motions
Hmm.
until that little sparkle comes back.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh,
Yeah.
life's good again.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Yeah. But like you said, there's a fine line between
Mm-hmm.
trying to push through something and knowing that like you need extra help, and
Yeah.
especially when it comes to depression and anxiety and things like that. If it's something that you've been at for months and months and nothing's getting better, it's reach out to the people around you, like find support. And
Yeah, there's resources for a lot of stuff. Actually, for this episode, I think we'll include, at least on our YouTube, if you're watching us on YouTube, some links to some resources,
Mhm.
at least in Canada, um, to help you through anything you might be going through.
Yeah.
And it's not embarrassing to use resources.
Hmm.
Um, Sometimes it's a little jarring. It's not embarrassing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's our 12 things. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
Um, you want to say anything before we close out shop?
No, I think, whatever support you can give us. I know it's going to be this first one. It's probably going to be
We're talking
um,
to avoid.
our close friends and family. Like, I don't know, please pass this on to someone if you feel like they could get something out of it.
Yeah,
The thing that I wanted out of this podcast was basically if we have 5 or 10 people that get something out of this,
I think
that's so
it's
cool.
so cool.
Yeah.
I actually love it. I love making impact.
Yeah.
I'm selfish like that. Our next episode we'll be trying to post every 2 weeks.
Mhm.
You can follow us on all of our platforms. They will also be on the screen, probably in this beautiful space right here.
Hopefully.
Interact with us, like, follow, comment, all of the goodness, and stay tuned for our next epi.
It's gonna be juicy.
Mm-hmm. Bye, guys.
Bye.